Good evening and welcome to California Today. I'm David Lam, filling in for Liang Zhang tonight. Here's a preview of some of today's stories. The People's Convoy met up with the Defeat the Mandates rally on Sunday. The Los Angeles-based day-long event hosted thousands of guests who spoke against and protested COVID-19 mandates. 2 large fires broke out in the Bay Area over the weekend. Fortunately, no one was injured, but one blaze was so large, evidence of it could be seen from space. Some California lawmakers are proposing a shorter work week, but the proposal would affect less than 1% of businesses in the state. A day-long Defeat the Mandates rally was held in downtown Los Angeles over the weekend. Thousands of people showed up, including truckers and firefighters from across the country.
In Los Angeles Grand Park, thousands of Americans gathered to protest COVID-19 vaccine mandates. A host of celebrities were invited for speeches and performances, including prominent doctors, actors, and journalists.
This is about standing against mandates that not only discriminate but separate American families. And we're standing here on a united front from all different backgrounds, nationalities, to let them know that freedom will prevail and the mandates must stop.
Among the major concerns are the restrictions on physicians treating COVID-19, disputes over the vaccination of children, and big tech censorship on information. One of the keynote speakers was Dr. Robert Malone, an early developer of mRNA vaccines.
There has been a concerted effort globally to restrict access to information through the Trusted News Initiative and a variety of other global programs. This has been globally harmonized to prevent people from gaining access to the information that they need to make informed decisions, to truly have informed consent. And so it's no wonder that the people are confused, because the information has been withheld from them intentionally.
The rally was hosted by the Defeat the Mandates organization. Also present at the event were truckers from the People's Convoy, with their big rigs parked on nearby streets. A group of firefighters traveled from across the country to support local public workers. As of last month, Los Angeles had laid off a dozen fire department workers who allegedly violated vaccine mandates. Paul Schweit is a New York firefighter and founder of the group Bravest for Choice.
When you're imposing a mandate and it's not a choice, if you either get the vaccination or get terminated, that's not a choice. That's coercion, and in no relationship is that acceptable, right? So we think that this goes even farther than talking about a vaccine mandate. This goes into imposing on our freedoms and our free will.
Some mandates have dropped nationwide, but others remain in place in schools, hospitals, and companies. In California, the state assembly is still considering a number of bills related to COVID-19, including vaccine mandates for children and employees.
2 massive fires hit California's Bay Area over the weekend, but they weren't in forests. A Home Depot in Silicon Valley was burnt to the ground, and a port in the North Bay was also torched. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. This is what's left of a Home Depot after a massive 5-alarm fire collapsed its roof. Everyone escaped the fire safely as no injuries were reported. As of Monday, crews remain on scene. Debris trapped under the roof is the source of some small flare-ups, according to the San Jose Fire Department.
Honestly, it's just everything, because it's just incredible. We never expect this to happen. So all of our associates, they got out when it happened. All I know is that the moment I go on my lunch, I come back from the parking lot, I see that everybody is we're standing right over there where the blue bin is at, like right over there, that parking spot. My manager, everyone else I know, like including my coworkers, they're all held over there.
Madero Bernal said he's being transferred to another Home Depot in San Jose. He's been at this store for 3 years.
And we believe it might be because on L47 we have one specific spot in the roof area that was badly damaged due to the rain that happened in January and February.
On Saturday, April 9th, 2022, at 5:30 p.m., the local fire department received multiple calls about a fire inside a Home Depot. A full first response team was dispatched at 5:31 p.m. and arrived on scene within minutes. The fire reportedly happened in the store's lumber supply. It sent plumes of smoke into the sky and got so hot that it was seen from space. Approximately 100 firefighters responded to the 5-alarm fire. The primary goal was to contain the fire from spreading to neighbor businesses within the strip mall type structure. It included a vet hospital and another hardware store. Approximately 15 homes behind the Home Depot were evacuated, and a shelter-in-place was issued in the surrounding area. Another fire also occurred at the city of Benicia of Solano County on Saturday. The city said the fire was extinguished as of Sunday. No injuries were reported. Crews are investigating the cause of both fires, but SJFD said there's no indication that the Home Depot fire was suspicious. David Lamb, NTD News, California. As people return to the office after 2 years of working from home, some California lawmakers are pushing to shorten the work week. Their goal is 4 days instead of 5. NTD's Cynthia Kai shares what their plans are.
State Assembly members Christina Garcia and Evan Lowe introduced Assembly Bill 2932 in February. The bill would shorten the work week from 40 to 32 hours for companies with over 500 employees. It would require employers to pay overtime to those who work more than 4 days per week. The bill specifies that regardless of a reduced work week, employers must not reduce employees' pay rate. According to California's Employment Development Department, or EDD, if the bill passes, around 2,500 employers would be affected. Based on data from EDD's 2021 second quarter, that number amounts to about 0.1% of all California businesses. In response to the bill, Republican Assemblyman Kevin Kiley wrote on Twitter, "At least that's better than the 0-day work week the state has encouraged for 2 years." The California Chamber of Commerce says the bill is a job killer. It says increases in labor costs would discourage job growth, especially while so many employers are still facing both pandemic recovery and higher supply prices. Cynthia Kai, NTD News, California.
Los Angeles' sheriffs and county board of supervisors are still in a vax mandate conflict. A union representing LA sheriff's deputies filed a second legal action in its dispute with the board. The two sides disagree on who has legal authority to suspend or fire deputies for non-compliance against the jab.
The Association for Los Angeles Deputy Sheriffs filed a petition against the county on April 8th in the Los Angeles Superior Court. The petition claims that the county amended its local law to discipline deputies for alleged non-compliance with the county's vaccine mandate. The petition stated the county, however, has failed and refused to exhaust the bargaining process as required by the state government code and has taken action to unilaterally implement its proposed amendments to local law. The union originally sued Los Angeles County on December 3rd after the Board of Supervisors passed a vaccine mandate for the CCP virus, also known as COVID-19. Current policy requires all county workers, including sheriff deputies, to be fully vaccinated. The board says it has the legal authority to suspend or fire those failing to comply. But the union claimed in its lawsuit, disciplinary power rests with Sheriff Alex Villanueva. The sheriff has said he will not enforce the county's mandate, citing adverse impacts on his ability to ensure public safety. The first lawsuit is still pending trial. The union is asking a judge to maintain the status quo until the bargaining process is complete.
Los Angeles community colleges are plagued by fake bot students who enrolled for benefits. One professor says she has been informing administrators about it after spending a year investigating. NTD's Eileen Ang reports.
Kim Rich is a criminal justice professor at Pierce College. She told California insider Siamak Khorrami that she first suspected fake student enrollment when she noticed a third of the students in her class were anthropology majors, which she said is highly unusual.
you know, you have bits and pieces from everywhere: English, drama, math, science, but you wouldn't have 1/3 of your class from a major that was not your own.
The bot students are computer programs that imitate or replace human users online. Thousands of their accounts are suspected of enrolling to receive financial aid or COVID-19 relief grants. Rich said there were many suspicious signs.
The answers had nothing to do with the questions that were being posed. Not every single one of them, but there were ones that stood out. And they were so unusual that the next time I saw the same one and the same one and the same one, and then I looked at the authors of the documents, I realized it was all this same individual creating these assignments for these individuals.
Rich was more concerned when she did not hear back from students after contacting them. After some investigating, she discovered some of the students were actually people who had passed away. Rich said she estimates there are anywhere between 10,000 to 15,000 bots enrolled in her district alone. She said it's costing both taxpayers and students who can't get classes that need them.
We had situations where a class was full with 40 students. We had students on a waiting list. We increased the enrollment limit to 80. In less than 72 hours, that class was full. It was not full with real students waiting to take that class. It actually skipped over students on the waiting list and was filled with bots, fake students.
Rich said she believes her school isn't taking action because the district would lose millions in funding if her claims are true. According to state budget reports, California community colleges received $4.7 billion in COVID-19 federal relief funding, with some students receiving up to $5,000 per year. Los Angeles Community College District spokesman William Boyer told the Epoch Times that he can't confirm there are bots. But according to a 2021 memo, the Vice Chancellor for Digital Innovation and Infrastructure for California Community Colleges alerted the state's community colleges about malicious and bot-related enrollment. Boyer said all is under investigation and internal review.
To watch the full program, find California Insider on YouTube or Epoch TV on the Epoch Times website. We're going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we've got for you when we come back. Northern California got some much-needed rain and snow on Monday. The storm added some inches to the mountain snowpack, but it's still far below average for the year. Cities in Orange County are opposing a state housing law. Officials in the city are looking for ways to delay implementation of the high-density housing. And in a somewhat peculiar traffic stop, which is now going viral, a police officer pulled over a self-driving car. What the car did after it was stopped was even more unexpected. That and more on California Today. After a very long dry spell, Northern California got some much-needed rain and snow on Monday. The mountains are seeing their snowpack increase, but it's still below average. After months of dry, hot, and windy weather, rain and snow fell once more throughout Northern California. UC Berkeley's Central Sierra Snow Lab reported just under 4 inches of snowfall during a Monday morning measurement. The National Weather Service issued a winter weather advisory for much of the Sierras through Monday. The much-needed snowfall comes after official measurements this month found that the mountain snowpack was at 38% of its average annual levels, the lowest in 7 years. At the Phillips Station, snow was about 4% of its annual levels. The Placer County Sheriff tweeted that eastbound I-80 closed at Donner Summit due to a crash on the icy roads. The incident happened west of Vista Point. The storm also brought rain to the Bay Area and Central Valley. The NWS said most rain would come from showers and thunderstorms in the valley, but downfall is expected to be light. Berkeley's Snow Lab forecasted another bigger storm may be on the way, but reminded that there's no guarantee. Multiple cities throughout the state are opposing Senate Bill 9, which gives landowners broad authority to rezone their lots into high-density housing. Here's what one Southern California city is doing about it.
12 cities in Orange County put boundaries on a new state law that allows homeowners to convert single-family homes into multiple units. One of those cities is Laguna Beach. Laguna Beach Councilman George Weiss told the Epoch Times that local residents fear the new state law. He said, "There's that fear the state is taking too much power away from local authorities. It's clearly there, whether it's real or not." Governor Gavin Newsom signed SB 9 into law last year, allowing lots zoned for single-family houses to split their properties into at most 4 properties. Each property would be eligible for sale separately. Laguna Beach Councilman Peter Blake told the Epoch Times that the city can't do much without getting in the crosshairs of the state. He said all Laguna Beach can do is try to alleviate or mitigate some of the issues that come with it. It's a balance between what the state of California is requiring of us and what the residents of this community are requiring of us. Last month, Laguna Beach implemented a 45-day emergency ordinance that limits building under SB 9. New buildings cannot exceed 1,000 square feet, 16 feet in height, and cannot add decks or balconies. SB 9 already exempts property owners from design review, public hearings, and even some environmental restrictions. Laguna Beach officials estimate that 75% of its residents could be eligible for an SB 9 application. City councilors may extend or amend the emergency ordinance at the end of its 45-day lifespan at the April 26 council meeting.
A California licensed doctor pleaded guilty to a fraud scheme involving vaccination cards and pills. Prosecutors said that the investigation started after the government received a complaint. Julie Matzi, age 41, is a naturopathic doctor, and the Department of Justice announced this week that she pled guilty to multiple charges. Prosecutors said in court documents that in April 2021, the Department of Health and Human Services office received a complaint that Matzi was offering pills that she claimed contained trace amounts of COVID-19. According to WebMD, homeopathy uses a like cures like theory, using trace amounts of something harmful to trigger the body's defenses. The investigation also revealed that Matzi sold fake COVID-19 vaccination cards to more than 200 individuals, officials said. Matzi faces up to 25 years behind bars for wire fraud and false statements charges. She is scheduled to be sentenced on July 29th. Driverless car company Cruise has been operating in San Francisco, offering autonomous rides to the public for about 2 months now. Recently, one of the cars was pulled over by police when no one was inside. The car then displayed some interesting and unexpected behavior. NTD's Jason Blair brings us more.
Video footage captures an autonomous cruise vehicle pulled over on the side of the road by police in San Francisco. An officer can be seen approaching the car. He sees that there's no driver and decides to walk back to his police car. While he's about halfway back, the cruise vehicle then hits the gas as if trying to make a run for it. However, the car does stop at the next block, pulls over, and puts on its flashers. The video was originally posted on Instagram and has gone viral on Twitter. Cruise did respond with a tweet to explain the car's behavior, saying, "Our AV yielded to the police vehicle, then it pulled over to the nearest safe location for the traffic stop as intended." An officer contacted Cruise personnel and no citation was issued. It hasn't been confirmed why the vehicle was pulled over in the first place. Some Twitter users have speculated that maybe it was because the car's lights weren't on. A similar incident happened in 2015 when a Google driverless car was pulled over for going too slow in Mountain View, California, which is one of the first real-life examples that brought up the question, who gets a ticket when there's no driver? Jason Blair, NTD News, San Francisco.
Now to NTD's Thomas Christian for an update on sports.
I'm Thomas Christian, giving you your California Today Sports Roundup. The NBA regular season has reached its conclusion. Playoff matchups have been set for 4 of the 8 first-round matchups, and the Golden State Warriors are the team best positioned out of California to take a shot at winning the title. Jordan Poole scored 18 points, including 4 key late free throws to help Golden State on to defeat host San Antonio. in the penultimate game of the regular season for both teams. The contest was the first of back-to-backs for both squads, with the Spurs heading to Dallas on Sunday while the Warriors traveled to New Orleans to wrap up their regular season with another win. Golden State used that matchup to clinch the third spot in the Western Conference with the win against the 9th-seeded Pelicans. San Antonio's Lonnie Walker IV led all scorers with 24 points. The loss relegated the Spurs to 10th place in the West, and they will be playing the New Orleans Pelicans in the play-in tournament on Wednesday. The Warriors will take on the Denver Nuggets as the 3rd seed versus 6th seed matchup in the first round of the 2022 NBA playoffs. Warriors 100, Spurs 94. Paul George scored a team-high 23 points in 34 minutes, and host Los Angeles tuned up for his upcoming appearance in the Western Conference play-in tournament by beating Sacramento. Norman Powell chipped in with 20 points off the bench in his second game after a 2-month absence for the 8th-seeded Clippers, who will visit the 7th-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves on Tuesday in the play-in opener. The winner gets to play in the first round as the 7th-seeded team. The loser gets one more shot at the 8th seed. Davion Mitchell had a team-high 22 points for the Kings. Clippers 117, Kings 98. Home runs by Jared Walsh and Mike Trout accounted for the only runs in a matchup of two pitchers returning from Tommy John surgery, lifting host Los Angeles past Houston. Astros veteran Justin Verlander took the loss in his first start since July 24, 2020, but his night was otherwise a success. He gave up 1 run and 3 hits and 3 walks in 5 innings, striking out 7. However, the 2-time Cy Young Award winner was outpitched by another Tommy John project in Angel starter Noah Syndergaard, who missed all of the 2020 season and pitched just 2 innings at the end of last season. The former New York Mets star pitched 5 1/3 scoreless innings and gave up just 2 hits. Angels 2, Astros 0. Jesus Sanchez delivered a tie-breaking single after Pablo Lopez threw 5 strong innings, and visiting Miami spoiled Carlos Rodon's San Francisco debut. Rodon, a 13-game winner and first-time All-Star for the Chicago White Sox in 2021, allowed a run, 3 hits, and struck out 12 with 2 walks over 89 pitches in 5 innings. Lopez, who posted a 3.07 ERA in 20 starts last season for the Marlins, also yielded a run and 3 hits over 5 innings. He fanned 6 and walked 2. Marlins 2, Giants 1. Connor Joe hit a go-ahead home run in the 8th inning, and Colorado beat Los Angeles in Denver. Joe had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Ryan McMahon added 2 hits for Colorado. Carlos Estevez got the win after retiring the only batter he faced. Rockies closer Daniel Bard struck out the side of the 9th to pick up the save. Austin Barnes had 2 hits, including a home run for the Dodgers, who beat the Rockies 5-3 on Friday in both teams' season opener. Blake Trinan took the loss after allowing Joe's homer. Rockies 3, Dodgers 2.
And that's all for California sports. Back to you.
And that's all for tonight. You can join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. If you have any news tips or ideas for a show, or you just want to let us know how we're doing, our email is california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Lamb. Have a wonderful evening.